Welcome to the Whatnauts, a pop culture variety podcast where we discuss the media we love and more. My name is Melissa Wilkinson, and I am joined, as always, by Kyle Springer.
Melissa, are you snowed in like me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Quite.
we got at least 2 inches. I wouldn't say it's much more than that, but we got 2 inches, which is you're making the face. I'm not snowed in air quotes there, but things have shut down around here.
I don't know if your math is correct. I looked at a lot of maps, and you live in Oklahoma City. I live in St. Louis. We're not that far from each other. I remember seeing a lot of maps saying Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, like the southern belt, was going to get the brunt of the snow. You looked like you were going to be under a foot of snow. Are you sure you're not?
No, yeah, it's like 2 inches.
Weird. It has snowed here in St. Louis for 24 straight hours. I think we're under at least like 6 inches of snow. We kept getting it. We did a topsy-turvy, I guess. We got all the snow you were supposed to get.
Right, yeah. I mean, it might be a little bit more than that. That's just me, like, looking out into my backyard and looking at things and being like, well, the little thing that's the plumbing thing that's sticking out of our yard in the back has like 2 inches on it, so that must be kind of what it's like everywhere. But apparently it's also snowing over on the East Coast. My job, I work for a university over on the East Coast. They shut down over the weekend through Monday, so I don't have work tomorrow, which is
cool.
Fantastic that I get a snow day. But yeah, good stuff. I hope you are staying warm in the midst of all of this.
It is difficult. The ice has creeped around and is now on the inside of the patio door.
Ooh.
I don't know how to get it off.
Oh no, that's not a good sign. Good stuff. Melissa, how are you? How's your couple weeks been?
I've been just fine. It's work keeps me busy. It's kind of nice to have a weekend where I didn't have a lot of plans to begin with. And the weather shut me down, like, time out. You now have 0 plans. You don't have to do anything but talk to Kyle, which is a good, relaxing use of my time. You want to know what I've been doing for my snow day activity? What I had specifically set aside?
Have you been cleaning
as a snow
your
day
toilet?
Activity? No, I should be. Just listening to dad rock and cleaning my toilet. No. Right, yeah. I built a little... Oh, you've got one too? I've got a Lego McLaren. Kyle has the same Lego McLaren. But Kyle, look what else I have. I also have littler guy.
Aww,
I have a smaller Lego
cute.
McLaren. I got both sizes from Jams for Christmas.
That's awesome. I've
built them both.
Get the big one, the ones that have like the working steering wheel that like turns the things. They have big ones, but yeah. I got the little McLaren Lego guy. It's fun.
I would love to have one in every size. Mama bear, baby bear, Papa bear.
Yeah, they're just right. Good stuff. Yeah. So today we are here to mostly talk about a movie that I have thoroughly enjoyed. I got to see this movie in theaters. I walked away from it being like, wow, that was awesome. Yeah. We are here to talk about Perfect Days. I have the Criterion Collection version. Melissa, you have it too. There you go.
This is on loan from Ashley's collection. I don't own this one. Perhaps I will in the future.
Okay. But yeah, you pitched this as, I was like, what if we do this as the start of our reviews that we do here on the show, because we're hoping to have some perfect days ourselves. I said
it seemed like an auspicious title. It seemed like the right foot on which to start the year of 2026 and our updated podcasting project.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was super excited when you mentioned this because, as you know, I've talked this movie up a ton, um, and you had not watched it yet. This was your first time watching it, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Good
not sure
stuff.
how I missed it the first time. I probably just saw a different movie. The only
Right.
reason
Yeah.
I've not seen a movie is because I was watching a different movie. It's not because I was ever doing a different activity. In
Exactly.
movies
Exactly.
is mostly what I do.
Uh, so yeah, this is a 2023 film by Wim Wenders. I'm not super familiar
Wim
with
Wenders.
Wim, yeah, with his filmography. I've heard the name Paris, Texas. I know he
Yes.
did that one.
Yes.
But I'm not super familiar with his filmography. Though I know he's often considered an auteur director. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I may have to go dive into some more of his stuff to check it out. Uh, but yeah, this I think has shot up there as like one of my favorites. I really enjoy it. Um, so Melissa, what did you think of Perfect Days?
I watched it yesterday morning, while I'm also watching the snow come down outside. I purposely designed a very peaceful morning for myself, and it really worked. I had a wonderful time. I was astounded by the final shot of this movie. I did not know that was coming, and that was a great surprise.
Yeah, I probably mentioned it to like vaguely mentioned it to you when I saw it because I yeah immediately was like, oh, that goes up there with Michael
Yeah,
Clayton and Pearl, like
right.
camera
I,
lingering on a character for like the final shot, and it just stays on them, and it's so good. Ugh.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm glad we are about to talk about this. I wrote a bunch of notes and stuff, so I am pulling them
Cool.
up. Do you have any other kind of like non-spoilery stuff you want to say? I actually have a summary that I
Oh,
wrote
terrific.
out
Go ahead and read your summary.
for this one. Okay. Perfect Days is a mostly dialogueless film that follows a man by the name of Hirayama, who appears to be in his mid to late 50s, maybe early 60s. And who cleans public toilets for the Tokyo Toilet Project, which is an actual project thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for 12 days in a row, we see him go about his daily routine of waking up, brushing his teeth, trimming his mustache, watering his plants, and then driving to work while playing tape cassettes of his favorite music during his commute. We then see him diligently cleaning the urinals, scrubbing the toilets, sanitizing the washing stations, and politely waiting outside while anyone needing to relieve themselves enters the toilet and uses it. Then it's back to work. Aside from being interrupted by someone with a full bladder, Hirayama often has to pick up the slack from his perpetually distracted coworker Takashi, who likes to rate things on a scale from 1 to 10. Where most might see a mundane routine, a thankless job, and a dull existence, life is anything but dull for Hirayama, who often finds reasons to smile at the beauty all around him. But a visit from an unexpected visitor digs up memories and feelings from the past to test his outlook on life and his will to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Dramatic.
That
Thank
is
you for
Perfect
preparing
Days.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, any other kind of final spoiler free stuff, or should we dive into spoilers?
It's a beautiful travelogue of Japan. In parts of Japan you wouldn't normally spend time with in another film or in a travel program or a vlog. It's it's toilets, it's
Yeah.
bathrooms upon bathrooms, and they are spectacular, more than you would imagine. And lots of fun little tiny bookstores and tiny cafes and ramen counters and a nice virtual vacation. If you're snowed inside like me, turn this on. Go to
Yeah.
Japan for a couple hours.
It's good fun. Yeah, the Tokyo Toilet Project is a real thing. It was initially meant to have all of these toilets built for the 2020 Olympics, but because of COVID, that kind of got pushed back a little bit. But the idea was to get a bunch of creatives and architects to design these really nice public bathrooms that would be a great thing for the locals as well as a tourist kind of thing. Be like, whoa, look at this cool bathroom, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they originally thought this film was going to be a documentary. That's what they planned it on. Of like, let's make a
Yes.
documentary about this project. Uh, and then as they kind of got talking and stuff like that, they were like, I think we could actually make a movie rather than a documentary. Like we can actually make something a little bit more meaningful and purposeful here. And I watched some of the interviews and stuff on the Criterion Collection. They wrote the script in like 3 weeks. They shot it in like 16 or 17 days, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's a fascinating one. There's some really interesting bathrooms there to check out. Um, but without further ado, let's get into some spoilers for
There's
Perfect Days.
This is our tradition, but it is funny to apply the spoiler warning to a movie like Perfect Days,
Right. Yes.
where
Uh,
very little happens.
Spoiler alert, there's a lot less human waste than you might expect from us
There is
mentioning
none.
toilets so
Yeah,
much. Yeah, you don't
right.
see
You
it.
don't see anything. They're
Yeah.
clean by the time you see them. That's how good
Yeah.
he is at his job.
Right. Exactly. Um, let's start with Hirayama himself, his routine, because that is what the film starts with. He wakes up, right? He brushes his teeth, he trims his mustache, he waters his plants. Who is this guy? What did you think of him?
I relate to the beauty of a routine. That is what the movie is about. The comfort and contentedness of a routine and the stress of when your routine is broken and you have to determine and ride through, is this a good change or a bad change? Was I too
Mhm.
married to my routine, or is my routine my safety? I must retreat to my routine for the good of my life. Sometimes it is nice to just drive to work in the morning when the sun is rising and listen to a good song.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's a character that has just kind of gotten rid of all the complications in his
Yep.
life. Like there's a scene later on where he has no idea what Spotify is. He's like, "Where is it? What
Is that a
store is
store?
that? Yeah, can I go to Spotify?" And like he's just uncomplicated his life in a way that a lot of people nowadays try and do those. Oh, I need to do a social media cleanse and I'm staying off of
Mm,
it for 2 weeks, right? That's just his entire
mm,
life. He has this tiny little apartment with only his books and his music inside. um he bikes to work, or he bikes around town, and um he has his little van that he takes to work, and it's just this really simple existence. And he eats his lunch in this like little park, this little shrine. And he just admires the way the light goes through
hmm
the trees, and that's his life. And he just seems to be able to find something fun and beautiful and a reason to smile in everything he does. And it's just
Yeah.
it's almost such a rare sight to see a person like that, to find someone who seemingly is so happy, um
hmm
right, and just is not burdened by like, oh well, this someone left a bad comment on our YouTube thing and now I'm thinking about that for the next week, right? Um,
Mhm.
there's nothing like that. He's just like, all right, I'm gonna go do my laundry and buy a new book and read and
Yeah.
hang out at the little snack bar with mama and and just have a good time, you know. Um,
I I do like that you see him choosing happiness in all of these small ways, in ways that I think anybody could emulate. You don't have to strip your life of practically all technology and creature comforts in order to, when you have a moment and you're waiting outside somewhere, just look up at how the light shines through the trees. Anybody can do that without making a major lifestyle change. But if you
yeah,
just choose to do that, that could have a tremendous impact on your life.
yeah. One of the first interactions that Hirayama has with other people is he's cleaning these bathrooms and these like two or three kids run out screaming and laughing, and he just kind
Mhm.
of looks at them and smiles, and he's like, oh, you cute pesky kids, you, like, oh, have fun, go get them, you know. But then
Mhm.
he hears another kid seemingly crying. And he kind of opens the door to find this kid really sad, and he's like, "Hey, what's wrong? Do you know where your mom is? Like, can we go find her?" And he like walks this kid out a little bit from the bathroom, and the mom kind of comes in like a whirlwind and takes the kid and is immediately like, what's wrong, don't run off. She's wiping his hands off with a sanitary wipe since he was just in the bathroom, and she's so busy that she never even acknowledges Hirayama
Yes.
in this thing. And as the mom like takes the kid and walks off, the kid, who's like now like, oh, okay, good, thanks, I'm with my mom, like looks back and like smiles and
Mhm.
waves, and Hirayama is just like, bye. Right, like
Right.
that's it. He's smiling. He's just like, ah, like I just helped this kid get back to his mom. What a beautiful thing, right? Um,
Yeah. You see time and time again that his joy comes from a job well done. And he
yes,
knows that his job is well done, and it doesn't matter if he ever gets any kind of recognition or thanks for it. He does not need the mom to say, "Oh, thank you for bringing me my little boy." It's
right,
fine
yeah,
if the mom ignores him. He got the boy to the mom, box checked, good job done, feels satisfying.
yeah. And it's not even a like the mom is ignoring him in the way that service workers are often kind of looked over in
Mhm.
thing. Like the mom just genuinely seems like the opposite kind of person, like very busy, always doing something,
Right.
maybe always has a phone in her hand. That's why the kid got separated a little bit.
Well, she's
Like,
got a stroller with another littler kid who's, like, screaming and crying. Like, she
exactly.
does
Yeah,
truly have her hands full.
exactly. Um, so yeah, and that's not to say that the mom is a bad person or anything like that, but it is just pulled in different directions, whereas Hirayama
Mhm.
seems, yeah, he seems much more go with the flow, but in a way that he's going at his own pace rather than
Yes.
being swept up in the current of something, right? um so it's an interesting juxtaposition that we
Mhm.
get to see pretty immediately, um, right there. Uh, the next two interactions that I kind of want to mention is him taking his lunch in the shrine. Right, he's just hanging
Mhm.
out in the park on a bench eating his little sandwich, and he sees this little sapling of a tree.
Yeah.
Um, and he starts to walk up to it, and he sees the monk approaching, and he's like, hey, can I, like, he just motions like, can I take this? And the monk is like, yes, you know, he's very respectful in the way he treats
Mhm.
life around him. um
Mhm.
and he takes this little sapling home with him, and he repots it, and he just puts it in his collection of little small plants that he has there, that I'm assuming he then goes to plant somewhere else.
I don't
But I
know.
don't know, right? Like, he just has a collection of them there, but there's none that's so big that it's like, oh, we need to move this outside or something. But I assume that little sapling will grow into a tree one day,
No
right?
clue.
Right?
I
Yeah, I
I've
think
never seen a person take a plant from their home and then just go replant it outside. I don't know if you're allowed
unless
to
it's
do
like
that.
a personal garden thing, right?
Right. But just like, I'm going to
I'm
take
gonna
this
go
to a
plant this
public
in
park
the
and it belongs to the
park. Yeah,
park now.
right.
I don't think you
Who knows?
can.
Why not?
Right. This
um,
park is entirely donated tree by tree. Bring a tree, bring your
do
own
it.
tree with you. You can, you know how there's
BYOT.
fancy restaurants where you keep like your own liquor box? Like you can go to a steakhouse, have a membership at the steakhouse, and you keep your own like bespoke wine collection there in a little lock box. When you
Yeah.
go to the steakhouse, you're like, unlock the box, bring me the
Oh,
1995 Chardonnay.
sommelier.
Yes, but you've already sommed for yourself.
Right.
You're pre-sommed. You just need it brought out of the cabinet.
You're
What if you went
pre-sommed
to
but
a
not
park?
post-sommed.
You went to a park and you're like, I have my own tree here. It's my tree. I brought it from home, and I visit it when I come to the park because I can't keep a tree inside my own house.
Absolutely, absolutely. He seems like that kind of person, not in the sense that like this is mine, but like I'll just go plant a tree somewhere. No one asked me, no one told me. I just happen
I
to
just
have one.
see a space that needs a tree, give it a tree, like a take a penny, leave a penny tray.
Exactly. But yeah, I thought that interaction is neat. That even like he's not just looking, but he's also fostering, right?
Yes.
He is trying to do good things for other people or the world around him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's see, shortly after that is when we get the first glimpse of the homeless man, who's is just like the local unhoused homeless man who's wandering around. He has a little like encampment, like a little tent and stuff, nearby that we see a few times. And it's another person that a lot of people in society just kind of overlook and write off and don't pay much attention to. But we see a number of shots of Hirayama noticing him and looking at him and just smiling of like, man,
Mm-hmm.
that guy is having fun. He's carefree,
Right.
like carefree, just hugging a tree, dancing in the middle of the street, acting like a tree,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just being like, man,
Look at him go.
I kind of wish I was a tree sometimes. Yeah, you know,
I
not
do
not a
love the
care
tree.
in the world.
I'm not brave enough to hug it.
Yeah. And then there's a scene later on where the two like they make eye contact, and there's this like respectful nod to one another, one another, of just like, hey, I see you, I respect you. Like, I just think like those interactions just make this film something special. Um,
Yeah, there are the interactions that lead to what you could call a subplot in the movie. This is a very simple, minimal movie, but interactions with characters like Takashi and Aya, um, the interactions with Mama who works at the bar, but these even more microscopic ones, like with the unhoused man. My favorite one was when he sits down to lunch, and there's an office girl who's also enjoying her lunch
yeah,
at the same time on the next bench over. And it only happens like twice, where he just looks over and like smiles at her. And I think the second time, like she smiles at him back. And that is the entirety of the thing. They
yeah.
never say a word. There was no third beat in the story. You don't know that girl's story. That is the entirety of it.
Yeah,
But it makes a difference.
absolutely. you see her a third time in the background
Mm,
later on, but still, yeah, the first interaction, she kind of notices him, and he's taking pictures of the trees and eating his
mhm,
sandwich. He's just like he's a weird guy sitting on the bench, and then when he notices her and like smiles and says hi, she's kind of like taken aback a little bit of like, what, why would you say hi to me, like, you're a weirdo, you're a creep. And
mhm,
then the second time, like, she's a little more used to him, of like, oh, he's here
mm,
all the time, he's not all that bad, right? um and then the third time is a little bit down the road when Hirayama's niece shows up.
mm.
And that, even if we don't get her perspective or her reaction, I have a feeling kind of ties a bow on like who Hirayama is to this other person, of like, oh, he's not just some random weirdo, like, he's an elder to this younger girl. They both have cameras, they're both like taking pictures, like, oh, he's a sweet old man, he's not the creep that I
I
thought was like maybe trying to say hi to me because we're both sitting here in the park, like, what's happening here. um
Interesting. I read it less as this guy's a weird stranger and more at that office girl seemed so lonely and
yes.
probably pretty down on herself. And when he smiles at her, it was more like he's patronizing me. He doesn't really care about me. And when he smiles at her again, it's like, well, maybe he does.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
I
he's
don't think
very
that's
sincere.
inaccurate at all.
Mm,
She also feels like the, like, maybe a little socially awkward loner, of
mm,
like, I don't really have many friends. I didn't eat my lunch alone here in the park, but here's someone else who's saying hi to me. That's
mm.
weird. Like, normally people don't do that. So she is kind of creeped out by that. I think at least that first time. Um, but
It's
yeah,
it's
I
a
don't know.
real it's a real John Locke smiling with the orange peel in his mouth sort of moment.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
agree?
Yep. Indeed. Indeed. Um,
I want to talk about these a moment where I think we can see him paying it forward, where we get
sure.
a dimension on another character. So there's Takashi, who is his junior coworker, and this guy is so whiny. He complains about everything. He
Four
shows
out of
up
10.
late. His girlfriend tries to, his quote unquote girlfriend, which is
His
just a cute
date.
girl he knows and is
Yeah.
trying to impress. She shows up. He like wants to whisk her off on his motorbike. His motorbike's not working. And he's like, please, please, sensei, please, senpai, let me take your car. Let me take your car. And then he needs money to take her out. And he's like, I don't have any money. But he sees that Hirayama has all of these old cassette tapes. And he's like, we can sell these for money. And I'm like, those aren't yours. You don't get to tell him what he can and can't sell.
He's
Like
scheming. Yeah.
he's so greedy and so needy and he can't really do anything for himself. But there's one scene where the two of them are cleaning a bathroom and this like young man with special needs comes up to Takashi. And it's apparently a kid he knows. He's seen the kid over and over again, time after time. He's like, oh, this is my good old friend. And this kid is like fascinated with his big ears. And he just comes up behind him and like plays with his ears. And Takashi is so good natured about it,
Yeah.
which is so different than every other interaction you see with this character. They just like, he likes my ears. Isn't that funny? Doesn't even care about me, but that's okay. He's my friend. And I thought
Yeah.
that was so lovely. And maybe that is an example of this sort of peace and grace that Hirayama gives to others that Takashi doesn't give back to him, but does know how to pass along to this other person in another context. Maybe there is a chain of paying it forward happening here.
Yeah. Or I even read that interaction as like Hirayama looking at Takashi as is like he's not really here to actually do a good job. He won't be here long.
Yeah, he doesn't
He's
care.
not to say that he's like not a good person, but like he's right. They're just not someone I'm vibing with. And then when Hirayama gets to witness this interaction, is like maybe there's hope for this kid yet, right?
Yeah, like maybe he isn't good at the actual work of cleaning, but we see that being in this public housekeeping role, you interact with the public. You have to
Yeah,
have all of these small, polite micro interactions with them. And maybe Takashi can be good at that. Over
yeah.
time, the toilet won't be as clean, but this is a guy who could make some people smile.
For sure. Now, let me ask you this. At this point in the film, we've met Takashi. They do the smash cut to all three of them in that little tiny cramped van, which I think is maybe the funniest moment of that whole film.
Hmm.
And like we get to see his date, named Aya. What were you thinking about this film? What is going through your mind? I know I had explained this film to you in the past that it's just this slice of life. We just get to see him in his daily routine here. But was anything else going through your mind? Were you thinking the film was going to take a certain direction that it did not, or something like that?
No, I had heard it was a slice of life. I was expecting a progressive series of slices. I
Sure.
did
Yeah.
not think there was ever going to be anything like a plot. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. It's not like this girl's going to try to kiss him instead. I, I I think I did have an idea of the
Sure.
simplicity I
Yeah.
was in store for.
Good. Yeah, I went in knowing mostly the same, but also a slice of life can mean all sorts of different things
Hmm.
here. And I think Hirayama to me as a character was so mysterious. I don't know, because
Yeah,
like you just don't
yeah.
know anything about him, and he has such a routine that again, it's not to really say that he has a lack of personality. His personality is showing through his routine and all of that stuff and the way he's finding beauty around him, but you just
Hmm.
don't know anything about him, and he doesn't speak all that much. So
Hmm.
I'm like trying to figure out, who is this man? What is his story? Why is he here? Why is he so into this? Why is he the way that he is? And overall, the film does an excellent job of hinting at things, giving you little
Hmm.
details, having you read between the lines. Um, and eventually, towards the end of the film, there is a short scene that gives you the most
Hmm.
information. But at this point in the film, I'm kind of wondering, like, this, he seems kind of lonely. I'm wondering if he had a partner that either divorced him or passed away, and he's
Hmm.
doing some of these things like taking pictures of the light in the trees as a way to remember his partner, who used to do
Hmm.
something like that, as a way to connect with some kind of loved one, right? Because it doesn't necessarily need to be a spouse. It could be like, did he
Hmm.
have a daughter? Like, is that why? Like,
Yeah.
he's kind of impressed by Aya, of like, oh, you like this music, you like the way she sings, you like the cassettes, like, huh, interesting. Like, I had a daughter that is maybe no longer in my life, and I hoped
Right.
that she would have been like
I
you, right?
I did think that maybe he did have a daughter he was estranged from, and as the movie went on, I realized I was thinking of that character from the Chair Company. That guy Tim Robinson takes up with, and he goes to visit his estranged daughter. Big air quotes.
Oh
I'm like,
no.
no, that's something else. That's something
Yeah.
else I've been watching.
um but yeah, and then I think shortly after this is when we really start to get introduced to the dream sequences that are in this too.
I love these.
Yeah, and so I'm in the back of my mind, I'm trying to figure out who is the man, the this mysterious man that is Hirayama. And I don't think the movie is about that per se,
Mhm.
but I think it gives you enough to work with that you can kind of come up with your own picture of who this man was, what his life was like. Um, and then in some of the interviews and stuff like that, they even shed some more light on maybe where he was or what happened to him before the movie picks up, that I did not really think about. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, I was looking for ways this movie could potentially veer off into some other interesting slice of life avenue,
Mm. Right.
that it,
To
it
or
just
to go
never seems to
beyond
go. Right, yeah.
slice of life to become chunk of life. Something more substantial.
Sure, or like
Heap of life.
is this a romance story somehow? Will he find love? Right? Is that office worker in the park like someone he's going to connect with, and his life won't be so lonely? Because we get a scene with Takashi one night who's just like, "Hey, aren't you lonely? Like you don't seem like you have anyone or anything." Um,
And Hirayama does not respond to this. He barely speaks to Takashi. Takashi just
yeah.
talks at him. I think Hirayama is more solitary than he is lonely. Or if he is lonely, it is something he made peace with long ago and
Yeah.
just accepted.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Um, so yeah, that's Takashi and Aya. They try and sell the tapes. Hirayama does not want to, despite like a single tape being $120. Holy moly! Like
Hmm.
he's sitting on some bank. There in like the six that they had there, he probably had made like $400 or $500 just off of those
Mm.
six cassette tapes. He decides not to sell them, though unfortunately because he was like deviating from his normal routine and driving Takashi around to sell the tapes and go here and do all of that, he runs out of gas on
Mm.
his way home that night, and has to go back to the store to sell one of the tapes to get some
Mm.
gas to get home. Um, and yeah, he just next day just continues on with his routine and stuff like that. Um, dream sequences. I mentioned those.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the dream sequences?
We get one every night, and it's just a short black and white clip that's like a photo collage of things you saw that day. It's
Yeah,
not going back into his past, it's not revealing any secret. It is truly just the brain dump you have at the end of the day, where you dump out your bag of everything you saw, and it's just a collage of images.
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes things that feel significant, sometimes things that didn't feel so significant.
Right. Sometimes it is more of like the way the light moves through the leaves on a tree. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's the texture of a wall in one of the bathrooms that he's in, or how the light comes through some of the architecture of these bathrooms. Sometimes it's like, oh, that's Aya. That's her face, and he's like focusing on
Mhm.
her eye, and
Mhm.
that's it. Or it's like it's the homeless man and he's in some dance, and it's just like, huh, just thinking about the homeless man. All right, cool. um Side note, the actor that plays the homeless man is named Min Tanaka. He's apparently a well-known dancer.
Oh,
Not
cool.
really an actor. I mean, I guess he's an actor too, but primarily a dancer. And they shot a short film of him dancing, which is
Oh,
on the Criterion collection here that you can check out. It's like a 13-minute
nice.
performance of him dancing in character as the homeless
Oh,
man, and it's like 20 seconds of that performance is what made it into the dream sequence,
wow.
that we
So that's what
have
that
of
is.
him there. Yeah, yeah.
There
Um,
was a short film listed, but no description. no
Yes.
context for what the short film was. So I'm happy you clicked on it.
Yeah, I forget they because there's a little introduction to the short film uh where they I think they were trying to get a shot of him or something, and kind of all of a sudden the actor was like, well, what if I just turn this into a performance instead and just do a performance? And they end up making this like 10 to 12 minute long performance. They put it together and give it to the actor as a like, hey, thanks, like we didn't want this
Hmm.
that these sequences to just sit there in the vault, so here you go, here's this performance. But it's fun, it's neat. um but yeah, I like the homeless guy. He's having fun. He's
Hugging a
doing his
tree.
own thing. Yep, indeed. Yeah, I like the dream sequences a lot. They're also silent in the way
Mm.
that Hirayama is often dialogueless. These are silent. Period. Um, so I like th- that juxtaposition too, where sound in this movie is very important. Hirayama does not set an alarm clock. He wakes up to the sound of the woman sweeping the street outside
Hmm.
every day. And then
Hmm.
on the on his days off, right? He just wakes up to the sun, light coming in his room there. Um, so it's stuff like sound, it's the birds chirping, it's music. That stuff is all really important to him and to this film. I like.
Hmm.
Um, I'll get to more music stuff in a bit here, but do you want to talk about his days off? Stuff he does
It
when
is
he's
neat to
not
see him go
cleaning?
on a day off. Like, he'll do his laundry, he'll go to a laundromat, he'll get his photographs developed. He'll
Yeah,
take the printed photographs and he'll put the good ones in a box and he'll tear the bad ones in half. And you see he's got like a box for every month going back months and
yeah,
months.
it's wild.
Presumably just more of this, of just light through trees and just different plants and landscapes and like little bits of Tokyo
Yeah, he
just to
he
keep.
opens up his closet and it's like almost floor to ceiling, packed with these little tin boxes labeled of like what month. And there's so many of them. Like
Mm,
besides his book and his books and his music collection, this is what he owns. Just boxes and
right.
boxes of pictures.
Plants.
Yeah. Um, and, and that was another thing of like in the back of my mind as I'm trying to figure out who this character is. Like, is he looking for something? Is he trying to like reproduce some kind of thing he saw? Is he looking for a ghost of someone or like a spirit of some? I don't know. Like I'm making up stuff in the back of my mind, and
Mm.
I like trying to
Why do
figure that
people
stuff
take
out.
photographs? To catch a ghost. Number one reason.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, I just found his existence fascinating. He goes to the little bookstore and he picks up a new book. This is an interesting note. The first book that we see him buy is
Mm.
actually I have it written down here in my notes. Let me see if I can find it. Let me do a search, and her name is oh, that's just gonna give me the stuff in the thing. So the author's name, that's not it. Let me see. Is that gonna give it to me? Oh, come on. Um. Oh, I can scroll through all of these. That's interesting to know. Um. I can't find it in my notes. I have so many notes that I took on this. Um. That now I think it was day 5. Yes. Okay. Here we go. I found it finally. Um. So he goes to this bookstore and he picks up a book called Tree by Aya Koda. Um,
Hmm.
And I just thought that was an interesting coincidence that the author's name is Aya, and he just met a young girl named what was her name? It was Aya or Io. Um, no, it's also Aya. So they have the same name, but then he's also like trying, like he's looking at the trees. He's seeing this homeless man trying to be
Mhm.
a tree. So it feels, yeah, like the like life is just influencing him, that like here's the perfect book for
Right.
you to check out next. Like someone named Aya, a book called Tree. That's it. Um,
I like the
it's
interactions
fascinating.
with the woman who runs this little $1 used bookstore. Every
Right?
time
Yeah.
he picks something up, she's already read it. She has some glowing compliment about it. I love the little characters you meet on his days off when he goes to the little restaurant that's in the like underground like arcade mall. There's a
The little
scene where one
local
of the guys,
bar.
yeah, that's at this little itty bitty bar and grill, is like yelling at a sports team on the TV. And this
Yeah.
other guy comes up to him like, you have to respect the religion and the sports teams of other people. Just like, hey man, calm down. We all have what we believe in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful philosophy.
Right, yeah. And he gets the same thing pretty much every time at this bar.
Hmm.
The guy who works the counter recognizes him, always has his stuff ready to go. He's always like, "Hey, thank you for your work here." Um, so it's nice to be a regular
Yeah.
somewhere where right, and be recognized, and be taken care of in that way. So it's neat to see in his day-to-day job, where most people kind of overlook him, he can just kind of come to this bar, and the guy is like, "Oh, it's you. Hey, welcome back. Here's your water and your little snack that you eat here." Um,
Hmm.
it's just it's another little nice interaction. Like
Yeah.
this is
I
sweet. I like it.
the the scene where he goes to Mama's restaurant, and Mama is a woman about his own age who is the proprietor, and I suppose that's why they call her Mama. We don't really learn anything about that. She dotes on him, maybe is a crush on him, we're not sure. Or at least there's another patron of the restaurant that
So
thinks he's getting preferential treatment. He got a little appetizer and I didn't.
the type of restaurant that is called a sanaku, which basically translates to a snack bar. It is these super tiny little bars that you can go in and get
Hmm.
like a small thing to eat and a drink, but it's meant, yeah, they call the women who work behind the counter mama in that,
Mm,
because she tries to foster a family environment of like, oh, you just got off of work, you're coming home. It's supposed to be a real welcoming
that's good.
familial environment. um and so they often host karaoke with the like three people in the bar there. It's right, like it's supposed to be not in the way that like in the United States we think of like a family style restaurant where the like it's like picnic table
Hmm.
style stuff. It's not that. It really is like, oh, I'm getting to know you personally, so that when you come in, I know what snacks you like. Oh, you had a
Oh,
rough day. Like, here's the thing that I think will really help you out here. Um,
awesome.
yeah. So it's just his like little local snack bar. Uh, and yeah, she's like, oh, you're always such an intellectual, always reading your book and stuff like that. It's fun. It's fun. And then she sings
Mhm.
him a song.
Right, and it's a song that they all know that she likes to sing. They're like, "Sing the song we like." And it's I think the first song you hear Hirayama playing in the tape player in the car is House of the Rising Sun. And then she sings this alternate version of House of the
To the
Rising
tune,
Sun that's
yeah.
like it's from like a woman's perspective where she works in a brothel instead of the song we all know being from a man's perspective, and it's about a casino.
Yeah.
Interesting change.
Yeah. So to talk a little bit about the music, yeah, like you said, the first song is House of the Rising Sun. Um, I'm sure there can be some symbology in the name of the song being House of the Rising Sun and
Yeah.
this being shot in Japan. Um, but it's more so the first time we hear that song about him waking up and the sun is rising and he's getting
Yeah.
ready for his day, despite the song itself being about a man who has a gambling addiction, right? I don't think you're really supposed to see Hirayama as someone who is like stuck in addiction or something like that, or
Mhm.
has
Mhm.
some kind of problem. I don't think that's what the song
No,
is
yeah, I
going
don't
for.
think I
It's
didn't
just supposed to
expect
be
I
the literal, like the sun is rising, you're starting your day.
Right. I did not think it was supposed to be representative or metaphorical for the character. I took all of the
Right.
music as one united piece of just dad music.
Yeah. Um,
I could turn on a local like K Hits 96 and it would play like 5 of the songs from this movie all in the same hour block.
oh yeah. But the
We all know this.
song that Mama sings is about a love who left and never came back. Is
Mhm.
what the lyrics describe. And um, as he's listening to the song, Hirayama gets really pensive. And so this was another moment for me where I'm trying to figure out what happened. Of like, oh, did your wife leave you and never came back, and that's why you're lonely here? Because
Mhm.
this is the first time also in the film that the dream sequence, like, it skips ahead to the dream sequence. We don't see him going home and doing that. It just he's at the bar, he's pensive, he's thinking, and then all of a sudden he's dreaming, and then he's waking up that next day. So just an interesting, like, let's hit that little fast forward button here. Nice, interesting connection there. Um, But yeah, the music is all really fun. It's all his cassette tapes from like the 70s and 80s. Um, yeah, that's all I will say on that good on that stuff. That good stuff.
Mhm.
Let's talk about his niece, because this
Yeah.
is the kind of real curveball to the film here. He comes home one night and there is a woman, a young girl, kind of sitting on the steps near his apartment. Uh,
Mhm.
and she's just like, oh, took you forever. Is this where you live? Do you live upstairs? You live downstairs? And he's just like, what? My niece. Okay. Hey,
Right.
Nico.
It's been so long since he has seen her. He does not even recognize her or expect to see her at all.
Yeah, she shows up out of the blue. Um, and so he lets her sleep upstairs. He sleeps in this little like cramped closet
Mhm.
downstairs, right? And we get another great scene that next morning where he wakes up and is like, "Oh, but I have to water my plants and get my like work outfit, and that's upstairs." And she's upstairs, and I don't want to bother or disturb her. And so
Mhm.
he's like
Right.
stealthily like sneaking up the stairs with his little squirt bottle to like can I like get up there without making too much creaking noises and stuff like that. And he's almost out the door, and she wakes up and is like, "Hey, I want to come with you." And he still really hasn't talked to her about like, why are you here? Like, there hasn't
Mhm.
been much of a conversation between them, but she joins him, um, and she just kind of waits and watches and observes him as he's cleaning and stuff. He even at one point like takes a video of him as he's like exiting the bathroom so someone else can use it.
Mhm.
Um, and she's just kind of fascinated by
Mhm.
everything that's happening. And then the same thing happens the next day. She joins him, but this time she's a little bit more like, "Can I help? Like, can I do something
Yeah.
here?" So she's taking an interest in a way that I don't think he was necessarily expecting. But by this time, he's kind of gotten his first clue as to what's happening here. The second morning when they wake up, she has one of his books and she's been
Mhm.
reading it and the book is called 11. It's a collection of short stories, and one of them, it's called The Terrapin, is about this boy named Victor. And she mentions, I relate a lot to Victor.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's all she says. There's no explanation of what
You
that
have to do
means or
supplementary
the
research.
story. Yeah. This short story is about a young boy whose mother is abusive, and
Mhm.
one day he finally stands up for himself. And the movie does not tell you that. You either have to know the story they're talking
Mhm.
about, or go look it up yourself, which is what I did.
Mhm.
Um, and so when she says that and he kind of looks at her, like he has this knowing look of like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I think I understand what's happening. Um, here and yeah, she has ran away from home, uh, and her plan was to always go hang out with her uncle that
Cute.
also is seemingly estranged from the rest of the family. So,
Mhm.
what did you think of Nico?
Uh, it is
That's her
sweet
name, right?
how yes, she is
Okay.
so into his lifestyle. She's never like, your old man music is lame. We're going to listen to my music. Why don't you have a TV? I want McDonald's. No, she is along with him for the ride. She wants to be immersed in his lifestyle. And when her mom does come to bring her home, it seems like she may be from a more affluent corner of the family,
Yep.
and that maybe when she goes to live with him and live as he does, it is like a quaint little lifestyle change for her. Like
It's
I
almost
think she
culture
does have
shock.
right, she does have some sincere interest in him and what he's up to, but it's maybe also like the novelty of it. Like, I don't
Yes.
clean at home. What is cleaning like? Somebody
Yeah.
cleans for me.
Yeah. That is kind of what the read between the lines situation is. Because yeah, when they go to the bath after they have
Mhm.
their bath on the second day,
Love the
um,
bath.
you see him on the phone at the bathhouse, and when Nico walks in, he's like, "Oh shit! Like I have to go," and he hangs up.
Mhm,
So he did the right thing. He
mhm,
called his sister to, or do what you can kind of assume is like he
mhm,
called her to be like, "Hey, she's with me. You can come get me.
mhm,
Here's my address. She's okay, right?" Um, and so yeah, when his sister shows up and they have a really nice car, they have a driver,
mhm,
right? They
mhm.
like very obviously is like, oh, you come from a rich family, you didn't want anything to do with that. Um, and in as Nico goes to get her things reluctantly, right? She the brother and sister, I think her name is Keiko. Um, Keiko and Hirayama, they briefly talk. And like Keiko says like one or two lines, and immediately it's like, oh, that's what's happening here. Of like,
Mhm,
dad is sick. He doesn't
mhm.
remember anything. He doesn't have much longer to live. You should come see him.
Right, and what she says is, since he doesn't remember you, he won't behave the way he used to behave.
The father was abusive to Hirayama, and
Or,
he was the
or
one
at
that
least quite
left.
We
Right.
can
Yes.
presume. We
Yeah.
don't know exactly what happened, but there is some rift, perhaps
Yeah.
some disagreement about what it is you want to do with your life. What do you mean? You just want to clean bathrooms and take pictures of
Yeah.
leaves?
Um, Yeah, so actually, in one of the interviews, Wim Wenders describes that the way he sees, and he wrote the character, even though we don't get to see much of the stuff, is that he was a successful businessman, Hirayama, um, but his father very obviously favored the sister,
Mm-hmm.
and Hirayama was just never good enough in the father's eyes, and so he's eventually he decides to go his own way and separate from the family, and at one point is suicidal. Um,
Oh,
and then as he's like laying on the floor of his house or is in this park or something, sees the light coming through the trees and is just like, that is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And
mm,
that is the like, if I can find beauty in that, what other places can I find beauty in? And so he starts to lead
mm,
this like, well, let me just like live a super simple life. Let me get a job as a service worker and make something beautiful for someone one else and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, Keiko mentioning all of that is illuminating for like what has been
mm,
happening and how he can relate to Nico. Um, and it's interesting because when Keiko says all of that, he's no longer looking at his sister in the eyes. He has his head
mm-hmm.
down to the ground, uh, and the only response he gives, he just shakes his head. No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go see him. And it's sad. Like it's such a gut punch. And uh, it's still something we don't know all the details of, right?
Mm.
But it's just enough to be like, oh man, something sad happened here. This is awful.
Mm.
Um, but Keiko gets in the car. They drive off, and he goes back to his routine the next day. And it is, uh, I I guess he has like one more day of like doing his routine, and then he gets another day off. Um,
Mhm.
And in this day off, this is when he tries to go to Mama's for another time, and he gets there a little early. And so the door is still locked. And so he goes and sits in the laundromat across the street. And when he finally sees her coming in, there's a man with her. Um, and as Hirayama approaches the door, he kind of peeks inside, and she sees, or he sees Mama hugging this man in a way that he's just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be prying into this
Mhm.
situation here. Um, it seems to be some kind of emotional embrace, not a like
Mhm.
we're about to have sex in here before but like a sad
Yeah.
kind of emotional um
Mhm.
thing, and they end up noticing him, and so Hirayama is just like, I saw something I maybe shouldn't have. I This is going to be awkward. I'm just gonna take off now. Um, he goes to buy beer and cigarettes, but then the man catches back up with him, and he's like, "Hey, you saw us, right?" And he's like, busted. Yeah, I did." And he's like, Let me explain. I'm her ex husband. I have cancer. I don't have much longer
Mhm.
to live. I had to come back to. And he goes through like three explanations of why he came back. And he ends up on like, I just had to see her one last time. Um,
Mhm.
and They end up having a beautiful moment together of like, this is the first cigarette we've smoked in a long time. They're both
Mm,
coughing. They both drink together. They conduct a weird science experiment to see if like, if shadows, like when they overlap, do they get darker here?
yeah.
Which I think can be a metaphor for like, hey, if bad thing piles on bad thing, does it actually get worse here, or is there just like a certain level of like, things are bad but it is what it is,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
um and then they play shadow tag like a bunch of kids,
Cute.
right? It's adorable, and they have a blast, and it's just like, in the midst of this both awkward and sad interaction, it's like,
Mhm.
how the hell is he able to just make something beautiful out of this like, this is just him, like, it's just, it's kind of incredible to see how he just continually is able to find the silver lining. um
Yeah.
and
Build the
it's still
bond.
a melancholy moment,
Mhm.
right? um but after kind of having the emotions of that moment, and then kind of going home, and it's from the stuff with his sister and his niece to
I
this guy and mama. Yes.
there's one other hiccup, and I forget the chronology of events here, but Takashi suddenly quits one day,
Yes.
and
Yep.
their Tokyo Toilet headquarters isn't able to hire a replacement, that same morning. So Hirayama has to pull double duty, and it's this work that normally gives him such a sense of peace. Now that he's been thrown off his routine and he has to do twice the
He's
work, he's a
angry.
lot more stressed
He's
about it. So that is also
frustrated.
kind of shaken his view of himself
Yeah.
and the things that bring him joy in life.
Yeah. And then we get to see that one character that liked Takashi's ears. He comes
Mhm.
back and is like, hey,
Right.
is
And he's like, the
Takashi
ears I
here?
like aren't here anymore. And I'm
They aren't
out.
here. They're not here.
Your
uh,
ears disappoint me.
yeah. um yeah, which is kind of a heartbreaking moment in and of itself, right? I'm just like, hey man, I don't know if he's even coming back around here.
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
but yeah, all of this stuff is adding up, it's piling up, and so we finally, at the end of this movie, we get to see one more routine of him waking up, going on his commute, and Nina Simone's "I'm Feeling Good" is playing,
Hmm. Hmm.
and this is the thing where the camera then just like focuses on him, and the song, of course, is like, it's a new dawn, it's a new day,
Hmm.
and I'm feeling good. And we see him smiling of like, hey man, after all of that, like, how can you just go straight back to this routine
Yeah.
like nothing happened? And then you see him start to break a little bit. He cracks a little bit. His eyes start welling up with tears as he's smiling. His smile turns to like, I'm almost sobbing, but he stops it and
Hmm.
he's smiling again. Like, the way, like, in Michael Clayton, the camera lingers on
Yes.
Michael Clayton at the end there, right? But he's just kind of at peace.
Just being. Right.
He's
Right.
just being.
It's nothing of real significance is happening. It's like
You're
they
just
got the
sitting with
emotional beat of the
the
shot
decision.
and then the shot just continues. Whereas
Yeah,
in Pearl, this is the third movie you and I have watched together that ends with just an
exactly.
unnecessarily long close up on the protagonist's face. In Pearl, it continues all the way to the end credits, and she is like breaking and crumbling and reforming, and it is such a vital piece of that character and how she moves forward. This I'd place Pearl number 1, Perfect Days number 2, Michael Clayton number 3 in
It's
the
on
ranking of
like a scale of like how emotional they are.
right.
Yeah, because like he's certainly emotional, and he's letting it show. He's starting to cry, but he's still holding it back a little bit.
Mm.
He's like on the edge. It's cracking, but it's not a like, oh, he's cracking and tomorrow he's gonna blow this all up and he's
No,
gonna go quit his job or
it's
stuff like that.
it's just
He's
a
sticking
recognition
with it.
of it's hard to strive for joy sometimes, to
Yeah,
find the joy, to work so hard to establish a routine, and then when your routine is broken, to find your way back to peace with that, to be okay with the break, to get back to things that you like, that bring you joy, to find a sense of growth even in changes you find unwelcome.
yeah,
He's such an unflappable character. This is the one moment where you can see him ver- on his face work through. It's been hard to get here, but I'm going to keep going.
yeah. And it's just an incredible scene.
Yeah.
It's so
Just
good.
stunning.
Yeah. So that is Perfect Days. A couple things that we missed that I want to
Mhm.
point out. Tic tac toe. There's
I love the
a
tic-tac-toe.
bathroom that he finds a note like stuffed in between some of the like wall panels, and he pulls it out, and it's a tic tac toe board with one of the things marked within
Mm,
with a
mm.
circle. And his first response is like, "Oh, this is garbage." He tosses it, but at the end of the day, when he's about to toss out his trash, he like is like, you know what? No, I'm playing tic tac
Yeah.
toe. Here we go. So he pulls it out.
X.
He marks his X, and he sticks it back in the thing. And then over the course of the movie, he checks back in. But if you look at the tic tac toe board, even before it's finished and we see the conclusion, you can tell this is ending in a stalemate. Nothing is happening with this.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's no one is gonna win here. And so when he checks in on it for the final time, uh, like all of the spaces have been marked in, no one won, but instead of a circle, it's a sun, and then there's a little note that says "thank you."
Yeah, and I like that it says thank you in English,
Yeah,
showing how international and worldly of a community Tokyo is. I like when that one British tourist
yeah.
is like, I don't know how this bathroom works. And he maybe doesn't understand the language she's speaking, but he still
He
knows what she's
demonstrates.
going
Yeah,
through. And he's like, wordlessly, let me show you how this bathroom works.
yeah.
Great.
I like the tic tac toe kind of as a metaphor for a lot of overarching things that might happen in
Mm,
your life. They might not go anywhere, they might not be super
mm-hmm.
meaningful. It might just be a small little fun thing, and that's maybe all it needs to be, right? Like just like
Yeah.
I played tic-tac-toe with some mystery person, and it was fun, and that was it. Like that's
Right.
that like I yeah.
He fills in the X's. And what is an X but a 10? And
10 out of 10.
Takashi's always rating things on a scale of 10. They each have their way of approaching the number.
Exactly. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. We barely mentioned the houses.
I love the
I Yeah,
bathhouse.
the bathhouses was fun. I like when he brings Nico. There's the two like local old men who are also like looking like, did he just have a young woman with him? Like, what is up with this?
And this seems to be exclusively an old man's bathhouse. Like, yes, we have a women's quarters, but no women ever go there.
um Stuff like that. We didn't mention, or we kind of mentioned the retro, like vintage music shop they go in to sell the
Mhm.
cassettes. That place is tiny. Like
Yeah.
there's like three people in there, and it's packed. Right? Like that's it. So stuff like that is fun. Was there other details in there that you really enjoyed that we didn't really talk about?
I gotta ask you, which is your favorite bathroom?
Ooh. Um I think for me, the one the British woman goes into, where it's like
Yes.
the translucent glass, and as soon as you lock it, it
That's
turns
crazy.
opaque.
I
Incredible.
I looked into
Holy
this.
moly.
I had to Google it because I'm like, how the heck does this work? They use a smart glass technology that turns opaque when the door is locked, allowing users to see inside for cleanliness and safety before entering, dispelling stereotypes about public toilets being dirty or dangerous.
Yeah.
The walls are made out of polymer dispersed liquid crystal film, appearing transparent when no electricity is applied. Wild.
Yeah.
You
Incredible.
turn the bathroom on and it privatizes everything for you. Otherwise, it's just a big, beautiful, like transparent, colorful cube in the park.
Yeah. Um, I like that one, and then I like the one that was decorated with the like panels of the like tree rings.
That's my personal favorite. I think the
That
the
one's fun.
opacity bathroom is the showstopper. The tree log bathroom is the personal favorite for me. Happy to hear it's for you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're all neat. They're all just like uniquely designed. None of them look the same. Each location is completely different, and that was the idea of the project, right? Of like, let's put up these bespoke public restrooms that are beautiful to look at, uh, and that makes them inviting to go in. But then there was an interview with the creator of the project on the
Mm-hmm.
Criterion too, who's also a producer on the film here. But he was like, immediately we were like, oh, that means we really need to keep these bathrooms clean, like on like next
Yeah.
level cleanliness. And so the project really became about like, we need to get service workers here whose like duty it is to just keep these things spotless. Um, which, man, I wish we had them in America, because public restrooms in the United States are usually gross.
What is the best bathroom you've ever encountered?
Oh, I don't know. There have been some surprising ones in nicer gas stations. Like
Ah,
typically you're like a gas
gas
room, bath
stations are a
station.
wide
That's not what I
spectrum.
was. Yeah, right. Yeah. Normally, when you go to a gas station, I expect the bathroom to be terrible, like one of the
Mm-hmm.
worst things you could go into. But there's some, um, like larger super like a Bucky's or a Wawa or a Sheets or something like that, where they are these like upscale, you can get food made to order, and you can get like merch,
Outside of the
and
bathroom.
right, yeah, yeah. No, they sell it
You're not
in the
you're describing
bathroom. You
the
can
building as a
specifically
whole,
get
not the
bathroom
bathroom
merch.
individually.
You can get like
I
tiny
would love
keychains of the toilet that you peed in, you know. um no, but yeah, like surprisingly was like, oh, like these are upkept and in a really nice
mm,
way that I was not expecting. But I would say nicer bathrooms. I don't have a particular one that comes to mind, but obviously like a good hotel. There's
right.
always
That's
gonna
that's what
be,
I'm thinking
yeah.
of. Like a Ritz-Carlton. I love the bathroom door that has slats on it like you're inside a closet and you can like see out. I love it. It makes me feel sneaky. I like that people can't see in at me, but I can see out at them.
God, the ones I hate are the ones women don't have to worry about this, but the ones with the trough for guys, it's not a
Baffling.
single urinal; it's just like a trough, and so everyone is just standing there holding their junk in
That
full
feels
view of everyone, and it's just
I'm sure that must be how the ancient Romans peed though.
sure,
Like
sure,
your
and
forefathers upon forefathers, ancient warriors peed that way.
to an extent, I don't mind it, but I also want an like I want some measure of privacy. Even urinals that don't have like the dividers between them, I'm just like, all right. Because like then I'll try and get the one that's like in the corner so I can like angle myself a little bit to
Right.
do all that stuff. But sometimes you just have to get like real close. But then you got the splashback, which is anyways. Um, yeah, bathrooms here in the United States are awful.
What, they're all over the place. I've seen every kind. They're as varied as humanity itself.
Yeah, but when you get a nice one like the ones you see in Perfect Days, it is just like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I'm ever in Tokyo, I would love to be like, I want to go see one of the bathrooms.
Right. I'd love to take a future poop on one of the techno toilets.
Exactly. So good stuff. Perfect Days. I hope you
Days.
enjoyed this one as
I
much
did.
as
I was lucky I was able to have just looking at that and looking at the snow outside. Very wonderful. I wish the experience to others.
Indeed. Let's see. I do not have this pulled up yet. Let me get our bingo sheets pulled up here so I can do that in case we got a thing. I wish you could set like a default zoom on Google Sheets so that I wouldn't have to keep changing it every single time. Okay, we got our bingo sheets pulled up on screen for everyone. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything.
Yeah, our bingo sheets are not built for a movie like Perfect Days.
There was no Bikini Babe party. There was no POV shot of the monster or killer. That would have been really funny.
I can cross off local watering hole.
Yeah, you got that one. Let's see here. No one got hit through a building. No photo of the president. No plot relevant jazz. What do you think about Nina Simone there at the end?
I'm referring to like a character who does a jazz. Like the jazz is not just something somebody listens to that that offers metaphorical resonance. It's like, you remember in For All Mankind when Margot Madison would sneak away to play jazz and she's like, nobody at NASA can know that I like jazz. I'm talking about something like that.
Yeah. Hirayama's more of a classic rock kind of guy anyways.
It's soft rock.
Yeah, soft rock. Let's see.
One of my favorite squares every year is Sad Bachelor Apartment. I don't think this is a sad bachelor apartment. I think it is a peaceful and content bachelor apartment.
Exactly. How do you feel about Lucky Charm or Superstition? I know we kind of put that one on there in response to the F1 movie, right? That he had that card. He would always pick a card. But
right.
How do you feel about him like taking those pictures as like a superstition almost?
I don't think that's what it is. Yeah, a ritual is not a superstition. A superstition can contain a ritual.
Right.
Like like a rectangle might be a square.
Oh, here's one that I can do. Golden Hour.
Baby.
The shots of him going to and from work.
Typically, Golden Hour describes a sunset. We get a lot of sunrises in this movie, but I think it still applies.
Yeah.
The rarely seen other Golden Hour.
Absolutely. A suit up montage.
Yes.
Him getting ready in the morning.
That counts.
Suit up montage. Right one. That's not the right color. Let me do that one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I got 2 from that one then.
Cool.
So that is our bingo check-in. Melissa, recommendations. what I don't really have one that I feel like is a good recommendation, because I feel
I
like this is such a hard movie to nail. It's a slice of life, sure,
mhm.
and I've seen other slices of life, but I don't know if I would really say it's like Perfect Days.
I'd love in the future, I'd love us to do an episode where we just determine what is and is not a slice of life.
And
Because
like we said, there
whenever
are
you
many
say it,
slices of life,
I
however
know
you
what you
slice it.
mean every time you say it, but if you ask me to draw lines and define what it is and is not, and when it stops being a slice of life, I don't know. I'm really lost in the weeds there.
Yeah.
I have a number of recommendations. We
Okay.
already
Please share.
mentioned Michael Clayton and Pearl,
Yeah.
which have nothing to do with this movie, just that they end the same way with a long shot of the protagonist's face. Um, you know what's another movie that ends with the song Feeling Good by Nina Simone? A Quiet Place Day One. That is a movie with some plot
Interesting.
relevant jazz. That's
Okay.
what I'm talking about.
What's
Um,
the song at the end of Saltburn? What's he dancing to at the end there?
Murder on the Dance
Okay,
Floor?
no, not the same. I was like,
Not
is
jazz.
he dancing to jazz there? I don't know. Uh,
It is not. And it's not plot relevant. Although maybe that's another square we can consider in the future.
unplot
Victorious
relevant
nudity.
jazz. Yeah,
Victorious nudity. I'll write it down.
yeah.
Other movies set in Japan that are just look at me going about my life in Japan. Largely plotless, truly slices of life. I finally gave
Oh,
myself
I
the
don't know why I did
excuse to
that.
watch Lost in Translation. I'd never seen it. This classic Sofia Coppola film from like 2003 had been on my list for years and years. Finally, again, thanks to Ashley giving me her Criterion streaming channel login,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watched Lost in Translation. A beautiful
absolutely.
film. Such a specific mood piece. I watched it on Friday night when I was stuck inside, even though it wasn't snowing yet. But I'm like, it's going to start snowing though. And that movie also takes place in such a liminal mind space of I could go somewhere. It's theoretically possible, but I feel so stuck. The night before it starts snowing. That's when you watch Lost in Translation, apparently.
There you go.
I also last year saw a movie called Rental Family. This
Ah,
stars
yeah.
Brendan Fraser as an actor working in Japan, getting bit parts as the token white guy in whatever Japanese production. And he starts an interesting new acting career with a company that will where you can hire an actor for whatever personal need you need an actor. For example, you want to convince your parents that you're marrying a nice, strong American man so they don't ask you about your actual lesbian girlfriend. You hire Brendan Fraser and you have a fake wedding to Brendan Fraser to satisfy your parents. You know, the main storyline of that movie is this woman who has this young, half white daughter. The father is no longer in the picture, but she wants to get the daughter into this very prestigious private school that does
Hmm.
all of these interviews with the parents. And she's like, if I have a father figure there, they will take us more seriously as a family, and my daughter stands a better chance of getting into that private school. So he has to, and the little girl doesn't know otherwise. As far as
Mm,
she knows, this man is her father who's been absent her whole life and is showing back up
gotcha.
now. So it's
Gotcha.
about him dealing with the emotional baggage of having to play the role and how seriously to take it and how much to emotionally give back to this little girl. And we see him go on all sorts of little interesting acting gigs like that. He goes all over the place. Another beautiful, like, travelogue taking you to a variety of different places in Japan you might not have seen otherwise.
Cool.
If you want just a small, slow, truly slice of life, this is just a guy going about it sort of movie. Last year, I loved a movie called Train Dreams that's on Netflix. set in like the 19 teens, 20s. Joel Edgerton plays a logger in Idaho. One day he works a job for a train. He builds a train track. He sees a trauma there that haunts him to the rest of his days.
And
He
he has
fears
a
that he is
dream.
cursed because of what he has witnessed. And he tries to find meaning and find a message in everything that he does in his life. Like, what does this mean? Something bad happened. Is this a curse? Something good happened. Will this be taken away from me? A really lovely little film.
Cool.
I also tried to convince you to watch First Cow as our first movie. Kelly Reichardt's First Cow, which is a movie about the Western settlers in very early days of Western settlement. And one guy in the community is a cow. And everybody else is like, hold on. There's no cows around here. We just got here. Nobody is a cow. Cows aren't indigenous to this area. One rich guy's like, I got a cow. And then Joseph Magaro sneaks in and steals the cow's milk and uses it to start a little baking business. He doesn't literally do it, but the movie does have
the
big suspender snapping energy. It's great. First Cow. I think the only other film I've ever seen by Wim Wenders. He, immediately preceding Perfect Days, he directed a documentary called Anselm about artist Anselm Kiefer, who is behind the giant paintings I showed you.
Oh, there you go.
St. Louis Art Museum. In fact, I believe today is the final day of their prolific exhibit, Anselm Kiefer, Becoming the Sea, home to the biggest paintings I've ever seen in my life. 40-foot monstrosities designed explicitly for the St. Louis Art Museum. Monumental site-specific installations they keep promoting, and boy, are they monumental.
Awesome.
Anselm is a documentary Wim Wenders filmed among Anselm Kiefer's workshop and studio. There's no narration. There's not really a storyline or a focus. It's just sort of an abstract, dreamy, immersive. You're wandering around this guy's workshop, and he has this massive plot of land. He has like some abandoned factory in the south of France because this guy works big. He's these huge architectural installations. You just wander around looking at all these different things. You see him at work. You see him take a flamethrower to a painting.
Nice.
And then after a few minutes, he's like, okay, now hit it with the hose. And then they took a fire hose and hose down the painting.
Great.
This film is also in 3D.
So I can get hosed with the fire extinguisher in 3D?
It's not shot from the painting's point of view, but yeah, you can see the fire and the hose in 3D. And they played this at the St. Louis Art Museum auditorium in 3D, and I get these weird, chunky, like public museum
Amazing.
3D glasses.
I
Great
wonder if
opportunity.
they would show it in 4DX, and they have your seat like rumbling around when he sprays the fire extinguisher. You get like misted in the face.
This movie is in the Criterion Collection. I wonder if there are any films in the Criterion Collection that can be converted to 4DX. Armageddon is in there.
Probably is, yeah.
You could ride Armageddon.
Yeah, there's a number of newer stuff on there that I'm sure would work really well.
Right. You can ride Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I think Melissa just likes burning paintings.
My favorite show. I love painting. I love fire. What if you put them together? A few more recommendations outside of the world of film. The season 2 episode of The Bear titled Forks, which is a beautiful meditation on the art of serving others by providing them the best possible setting and environment and service that you can. Yeah. A meditation on giving somebody a perfectly clean fork that I think translates well to this.
Cool. Good. Yeah.
Um, if you want a scene of a man who wears the same jumpsuit every day, going about the daily rituals of eating breakfast, exercising, beginning his day at work, you can watch just the opening scene of Lost Season 2, Episode 1. If you know, you know. And finally, there's a YouTube channel called Polyphonic that is music, criticism, and history. Some really informative little documentary videos.
Nice.
If you saw me get glassy-eyed a while ago, I was hunting to find this one video of theirs. They have a video called What is the House of the Rising Sun? That dives into the history of that song and its
Awesome.
different
Okay.
variants and interpretations.
Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. I did actually come up with something I can recommend.
Nice.
I don't know how I completely forgot this because it was not something that came to mind when I watched it, but in the interviews they mentioned the director Yasuhiro Ozu, and immediately I was like, oh yes, yeah.
Yes.
He has a number of films that I think have heavily influenced Perfect Days. Go check out Tokyo Story or like Late Spring. I ended up watching like one or two of his films like a year or two ago.
You did.
Don't remember the ones off the top of my head that I watched. It was like Early Spring and something else. But
I have not yet seen an Ozu. Haven't had the pleasure. Need to get that done.
Yeah. Some interesting stuff. Often filming characters like very straight on. They have to talk to the camera, and that can be interesting both for the actor who's then acting to a camera, which can sometimes be awkward. But then as the viewer, you then think that they are like looking directly at you and talking with you and reacting to you in a way that I think is just neat. So go check out some of Ozu's work.
Cool.
But there you go. That is our recommendations for this episode. Normally we would wrap things up here. Melissa, do you have any other kind of last things? We have our notes here on stuff. All the Oscar noms came out this week.
Have you looked at them?
Not really. I know that Sinners got like 16 different nominations.
Sinners has now broken the record for the most nominations.
One of the nominations I saw and I just completely laughed at, that is F1 being like picture of the year or something. I was like, are you serious? No.
So F1,
no way.
I'll tell you the story behind this as far as I know it. So F1 did get a few technical nominations, like I think it got cinematography. Cinematography was spicy
this like
year.
That makes more sense.
It's
like, yes.
So it got like 2 or 3 things. It got sound.
Makes sense. Yeah.
It did not get cinematography, but it got sound and it got editing. And the movie had visual effects. That's the other one I'm thinking of. The movie has had strong support for the technical aspects of it. You can say that the script is thin, but that is a well-constructed movie in every other sense. The thing looks incredible, sounds incredible. It's a fun time at the movies, even if it is the sort of cliche sports drama story. Yeah. It is a also fun illustration of being a fun sports drama story.
It also did really, really well internationally, since F1 is such an international sport.
Yes.
But like it just seems laughable to me to see it up there with like Sinners and One Battle After the like just completely different styles of movies.
It is, but it's in
I was just like,
in its way that there is something about it to celebrate. Of course, it is absolutely in last place. It is the first out of 10 on a scale of 10 to 10. The 10 nominees were, Or I guess number one is going to be one battle after another. That's our winner, and then sinners, and da 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 da. This is absolutely the lowest of the 10, but it didn't get there by absolute accident. The Academy is mostly people who work on the technical side of things, who really had to applaud the technical aspects of that movie. It's so international, the voting body now. This movie did well internationally. F1 the sport is a huge hit internationally. And I can imagine somebody who maybe didn't have time to see everything. They're getting down to the bottom of their list of the 10 things they'd want to pick, and they're like, you know what, F1? I had a great time with F1. Why not? And there was just enough people who said, why not? And that's how it got
I love it.
there.
I love it.
What I'm curious about is how many F1 drivers will we see at the Oscars? I think Hamilton will be there because he's a producer on the film.
Yeah.
Who else?
I don't
I'll
think
be
you'll
thrilled to see
anyone else. I mean, if anyone else, I could see them sending Lando because he was the champion of like just
he's the
nice
winner,
to right? Like it'd be nice to have the champion there, but
I can't wait to see an F1 driver awkwardly present an award. That is the sort of cross-promotional thing.
FIA awards, they do stuff like that,
surely.
But it's also like
every sport has an award for itself,
right?
Yeah, but like having to stand up there next to like Anya Taylor-Joy in this award for best cinematography.
Well, Melissa, little did you know, but like a year or two ago, there were rumors going around that Fernando Alonso and Taylor Swift were secretly a couple.
What? What a combination! That's
Anyways.
crazy. Have people just tried her with an athlete from every different sport before Kelsey was the top pick?
Basically, yeah. I don't follow
Bizarre.
Taylor Swift, so I never really looked into all of that stuff, but I remember them going around and everyone being like, this is ridiculous. What is happening here?
I think you could do a podcast with a new episode every week of the year that's a different person Taylor Swift has been rumored to have been dating at some point in history.
Good Lord.
A whole deck of 52 of them.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I have at least version 1 of our new housekeeping video up and ready to go. So I say we'll play the housekeeping video, do all of that stuff, and then we can wrap the show up with our pull up a chair little bit there. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll be right back after this. We've been making podcasts and exploring the universe for the past decades here at the Whatnauts, but to keep doing that, we need your help. If you've enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us by going to our website, thewhatnauts.com, and signing up for a free 7-day trial of our Patreon, or gifting a subscription to someone you think may enjoy our shows. A subscription gets you access to episodes early and over 40 hours of exclusive content, including the most recent episodes of our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club. If you don't want another subscription, no problem. There's even an option to buy the Pilots Club collection as a one-time purchase, which gets you access to the newest episodes of the Pilots Club as we record them without the monthly subscription. Once again, that's thewhatnauts.com to sign up for a free 7-day trial. But one of the most important ways to support us is simply leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. It seriously helps us out a ton. Lastly, go subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the podcast, and for any other updates, follow us on Blue Sky at thewhatnauts.com and at Threads, The Whatnauts Official. Thank you so much for your support. All right, we are back. Once again, a big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It means a ton. There is one tier, however, that gets their name read out on the show, and we have a new patron at that tier. So thank you to Ashley R. Thank you so much. I
Lender of Blu-rays.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, like, I figured this is she was the one that lent you the Blu-ray stuff like that. So good stuff. Thank you, Ash.
Giver of Criterion passwords.
A ton. Yeah. Let's see. Over on the Pilots Club, we have our episode up for The Chair Company, go check that out. That was a lot of fun. And then on the free version of the Pilots Club, we got Reboot, not the CGI one, the sitcom in which they are rebooting a sitcom in the story of the sitcom. So go check that one out too. As for what we will be reviewing next, I think we kind of decided right before we hopped on this recording. Melissa, you were interested in the TV show Paradise that was on Hulu, and I know season 2 is coming up in February. Are we locking that one in, or are we doing
if
Paradise season 1?
if you assure me it is worth my time and won't be a dystopian bummer, then yes.
I think it is worth your time. I think you will like
Okay.
it. It is. I don't think there's going to be anything that will hang you up, but I can't get into like why without kind of spoiling things. So just go in, enjoy it. I think you'll have a really good time. It's a good show for sure. I'm super excited about season 2. But with that in mind, let me pull this back up. This is coming, I think, end of March is what I said.
We set our own schedule. Kyle, we do it whenever we want to.
Okay, well, I have written down we would do that at the end of March. Maybe we could do that at the end of February, but we also were talking about there's a lot of movies coming out in February too.
I think maybe next time we do a list of the movies we're excited for this year and figure out where there are dead spots, and we plug in our review show segments for those weeks.
Okay. Because yeah, I mean, we can always move things around on our schedule. I just have some placeholders of like around this date is a good time to review something. So yeah, Paradise season 1. We'll update you all when exactly we will be doing that. When we will be doing that. I think I said that right. But yeah, I think that about wraps us up for this show. Were you about to say something? You looked like you were about to say something.
I don't know.
No?
We're in a new world, a new structure. Does everything else we wrote down get punted to 2 weeks from now?
I'm okay wrapping things up right there. But yeah, let's do that. So Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
We do have one segment we must do every episode.
Hold on, skirt, pump
we made
the brakes.
a stupid promise to ourselves. Every episode for the next almost 2 years, we end with a segment called Pull Up a Chair. Play the song.
There you go. Our new segment.
Pull up a chair. Remember when Marvel did that 5-hour live stream of chairs with names on them to tell you who was going to be in Doomsday? Every episode, we're going to guess another person who will appear in either Doomsday or Secret Wars, the upcoming duology of Marvel films.
Yeah.
If they don't appear in Doomsday coming out into this year, all predictions roll over to Secret Wars. Kyle, who are you guessing? And these can be actors and or characters.
Right.
Right.
We did get one seemingly confirmed. Femke Janssen. Is that how you say her name? This was some weird thing. Chris Claremont, a famous writer of X-Men comics, was on
I watched
some
this whole
podcast.
thing. Yeah.
I don't know if that's truly confirmed just by the way of him.
A former X-Men writer believes Famke Janssen will be in Doomsday, but I don't. She isn't. I hope we get more chairs. I love the chairs as a way of telling you something. Give me all information via chair, please.
I am gonna go with the character named Magic, who has already appeared in The New Mutants, played by Anya Taylor-Joy.
Funny you mention her. Is it Magic with a K or a C?
With a K.
Okay. Her given name is Ileana Rasputin, correct?
Correct. Yep. That is
I think that's
Colossus's
spelled
like
with a Y.
younger
I'm
sister
trying
or
my
something.
best over here. Okay, cool. Magic, perhaps played by Anya Taylor-Joy, perhaps not.
Well, she has played the character before in the New Mutants. I haven't watched that one yet, but
I would love to see a single New Mutant appear. I think that would be a hoot.
sure, yeah, let's get some X-Men.
Right. My prediction, somebody who has not been confirmed for the movie, but we know he will appear because he's appeared in all of his other own movies, Anthony Russo. The one Russo brother who makes himself a little cameo in all the movies. He'll be there. He's not confirmed in the back of a set chair like any of the other actual actors, but he will make his face known in this film.
I know he was in the support group. Was he in any other cameos?
He's been around. I can't name them off the top of my head, but I know he has done other ones.
That's the only one that I know of as like a prominent.
I'm pretty sure there's
in
more.
The like post blip support group.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, a cameo by Anthony Russo could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. That is who we are pulling up chairs for this time. We will check in next episode. Mostly every episode we will check in. So
I insist every episode.
You insist every single one. I'm A-okay with that.
I bang. Fist on desk. I insist.
Yeah.
More predictions of chairs.
All right. Now we can wrap things up for this podcast. So, Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can email me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com. Old school.
Old school indeed. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the stuff we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky and on Threads at the Whatnauts Official. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you are watching this on YouTube, we got plenty more videos right over there on that side of the screen. That would also help us out if you go and check those out and share them. This has been episode 2 of The Whatnauts. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.